And we're apparently live. Hello.
Wow.
Buongiorno.
And welcome to Let's Drone Out tonight. You've got a classic LDO lineup. You're joined by our Lord and Master, Andrew / Frank.
Good evening.
My darling wife.
You
Tony.
didn't know what to say there, did you? Bonjour.
I thought of something. I thought,
Yeah,
can't say
I know
that.
you did.
Oh no. My darling wife, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right.
And I am, of course, Brian to Life Lie, and you're listening to Let's Drone Out. Hello. It's Thursday, the 16th of February, 2023. All of a sudden, I've been transported back to 2018 with you two, and only you two here.
Oh, I wanted to join you today.
Yeah. We will start this classic rendition by phoning Andy RC. He won't answer because
He might. He will if I ring.
all right, you ring him.
No, you ring. Can you tell I've got a light on, like a studio light thing?
Yeah.
Or does it not even? Can you not even see that I've got a light on? Shall I make it brighter?
I thought it was your screen doing that kind of blue glow. Very nice.
This is for camping tomorrow. I'm doing a camping vlog.
No answer.
Is that too bright now? Yes. My God, I couldn't even see.
So
that's even too bright still.
We're 10 shows off our 400th show, and
wow.
we're still kind of learning what we're doing every week. And we're well prepared this week. We've got lots to talk about.
Have we?
With both seconds that we had before going live to discuss it.
I wasn't there. What were we discussing? Not them stupid props. I've had enough of seeing them props everywhere now.
Oh, the toroidal props.
Oh yeah, that's enough. Enough of that.
Has anyone seen anyone actually have any success with them?
I've seen is it Quad Mover? Is it Quad Mover?
Quadmore or something?
Quad Mover did do some, but I think his point was like, look how noisy this is compared to just normal props that I have.
Yeah, I think he put stupid amount of blades on props, like 16 blade props, and they were quieter.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't think it worked, really.
Well, no. I mean, it's the sort of thing that's like being built out of a computer simulation, presumably some kind of computational flow dynamics.
Was it?
Oh, it probably wouldn't be. Well, I mean, depending on your definition, I imagine it's probably linked. But I mean, it's going to be the same thing. Like, I mean, like we have definitely had like some absolute rubbish props, right? Like some of the bullnose stuff that people were getting, where it was like really, really steep pitch, and it was just making noise and spinning there without being very efficient. I mean, just because something looks similar to the human eye doesn't mean it's going to have the same properties when it's actually pushing some fluid around. So I imagine, like,
innuendos there.
I would argue against this because Tony, if you remember, cut his props down with kitchen scissors.
Yes, I did,
and won a race.
Oh no, I won that one.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but I mean, you know, those were probably some decent props that you've changed by trimming the ends off. Not like
Dow.
Like if you had some rubbish bullnose, like actual molded bullnose props that were just like out the packet, like some of those were really, really bad. And I'm sure the same thing will happen here, where like if someone. But the thing is, like with toroidal props, I imagine that's going to make it quite tricky to mold, because you're going to have for injection molding, Yeah, for injection molding, you've got two massive, great big bits of metal that come
Master
together.
molds.
You squeeze the plastic into, and then it comes apart again.
Mm.
And you've got to be able to make sure that those two bits of metal can come apart, which means that you have a seam line all the way around, and each bit of metal can't go past that seam line, so that it can actually come apart. So, I mean, you can be very clever with injection molding. You can have it on slightly funny angles. You can have it so that the actual plastic, as it cools, it can shrink in different ways, and so it actually warps itself after it comes out of the mold, so that you can change the shape that way. But I imagine you're going to have these issues where you kind of need the flexibility of 3D printing to get the exact dimensions and shape that you need to get the fluid properties that this guy I'm guessing MIT, I think it was MIT. The guy who did sort of the study that was originally done that came up with this idea, you're going to have to get that exact shape to get the benefits, or close enough. And I wonder whether you're actually going to get that when you compromise it by making it designable for injection molding. It'll be interesting to see.
I mean, what are the benefits apart from just the how loud they are? Is there any performance in any other department?
Well, I think efficiency.
Efficiency.
Yeah, because I think that was. I mean, it's. I mean, Flight Test and Peter Sripol have done loads about the annular wings. The planes that sort of the
planes.
Yeah, the hoop planes, where the wings come all the way to the top and then join to each other. Because what they're trying to avoid is having the spillover at the edge of a wing, where the high pressure and the low pressure meet, and you have a load of vortices, and that creates a load of noise and creates a load of drag and makes it less efficient. So I think the idea with the toroidal props is to apply that same principle to propellers and have it spinning, and so at the tip you get the same spillover, and so if you join the two tips together to make a toroidal shaped blade, then I think the idea, and presumably backed up by some simulation somewhere and some testing.
Well, I think the aliens have already tested it with their ship design.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
It's already been done.
Yeah, exactly.
They're the ends of the winglets. Yeah, they've
Yeah.
changed a lot, haven't they, over the years? I've seen them.
If you look, that is the exact profile of the old Gemfan props.
So we're looking at the winglet at the end of a wing of something that I can't quite read there.
Boeing
777.
Yeah, Ryanair performs its first Boeing 737 / 800 winglet
retrofit.
Yeah, and it's called a split scimitar winglet. Is that right? Am I pronouncing that right, Frank?
I can't actually read it; it's too small on my screen. But I'll say scimitar sounds reasonable. But I'm sure it's the same kind of. But the thing is, the annular wings, I feel like never actually ended up being very practical. So I don't know whether that was a kind of mechanical, like materials properties thing, which by having a small little blade, you're going to avoid those problems and still get some benefits. I don't know.
They look nice.
Yeah, and as Dominic Clifton says in the chat, they should be safer as they don't have a sharp, pointy bit of both ends. And I said in our little group chat, I thought, maybe they'll be good for like flying around netted areas. Like if you're racing like in a big netted area.
You don't get caught up.
Yeah, you're less likely
until they poke through and twist anyway.
But at least you could just pull it and it wouldn't be like caught around quite as much. I don't know. I feel like we've had loads of issues of. I mean, maybe it would be the same problem, but some of these, like where they've like taken the three blades and they've just almost made a hoop all the way around it. But
yeah, the stretched out.
Is that true? What Digby Dan's put in the chat?
Yeah, of course, like most things, everything adds up. Hence why it's cheaper to glue phones together than use screws.
So Digby Dan was saying the Scimitar split winglets will save Ryanair £100 million in fuel. And yeah, I can believe that.
Well, that's good for the environment as well, then, isn't it?
But then you make it cheaper to fly, and so more people are more likely to fly it.
Yeah, there is that.
But
Can it be any cheaper than Ryanair?
I was going to say, I don't think we have to worry about fuel being too cheap at the moment, do we? That's not the problem.
No, that's not the problem yet.
Different kind of fuel, isn't it? Technically.
I mean, it's a different part of the fractional distilling process, but it
I
still
have,
comes out of the crude oil.
Yeah,
I think
true.
I watched Jerry, our mate Jerry the other day, Big Jet TV.
Adams.
I'm sure he was talking about a plane has now done a test fly on green, some kind of green fuel. I don't know. I didn't listen. It was in the background, but I don't know if that's a thing yet.
I believe the RAF have been testing it as well. I think they've had some biofuels. I mean, but then you get into but then they're going to end up using crude oil to generate the fertilizer that goes on the field to grow the thing that you then process using more energy to then turn into fuel. It's very tricky.
Yeah.
Environmental stuff. You always end up going around in circles, right?
100%.
Plastic on single-use plastic on foodstuffs. It seems like a really bad thing for the environment, but it reduces the food spoilage in the waste. So it means that for the same amount of apples on your table, you end up with fewer apples having to be grown. So it reduces the carbon footprint of the apple that you actually end up eating. But you're increasing the amount of plastic waste that's thrown out in the world.
Yeah, it's a hard one, isn't it?
It's always win-lose.
Yeah.
Min-max. Frank can't handle it. He just wants win-win.
Yeah, always win-win. Exactly.
Yes, I was gonna. There was some requests about talking about the sort of history sort of stuff, and I am frantically looking at old the Oscar Liang's or
Divorced,
Lang.
beheaded, died. Divorced, beheaded, survived. There we go. Done a history.
That is pretty good. I don't know whether I don't know. We don't even have to go there. I could just grab the image of the toroidal props again.
Oh, I've had enough of them.
I know, innit?
We're having a chat on our Discord on there ages and ages ago. I mean, it ended up being just me, Jack, even, but anyone can join in. We were discussing what we thought were kind of the big milestones in quads that actually improved the experience and made it easier to get out and fly and have a good day of flying. We could go through some of those.
I'd be interested to see what you were talking about.
Yeah, I mean, the ones that we came up with so far, anyone in the chat wants to chuck them in as well as we go along. Chat. So there was affordable computer radios that meant we could actually not just have the throttle aileron elevator rudder outputs that were kind of set by Spectrum or someone. So basically the Tyrannus, that was quite important to
very
inventing our little niche corner of the hobby.
Do you remember your old radio that didn't send? What was the issue with that? It didn't even. Not only did it not send the signal long enough, it didn't even have enough resolution. So
the problem was the radio that I was trying to use on my first quad back in Sumner's Ponds back in
back in the day, that was
14, 15, I guess. It was a Spectrum radio, sort of. It was a DSM-1 radio. It wasn't even DSM-2. So it basically picked the best 2.4 gigahertz frequency that it could find, like the best channel it could find on 2.4 gigahertz, and it would just sit there, and that was all it was. So like DSM-2 picks like 2 frequencies, DSM-X and like FR Sky stuff and everything else basically since then is frequency hopping, so it just sort of moves around as and where it finds a good frequency. But the one I had, the DSM-1,
Just stuck on one.
was just on one, and if someone else powered up and started using the same one, like if there were a load of Tyrannuses around that were just hopping about all over the place, it would mean that I wouldn't have a connection anymore.
Solo then.
Yeah, so it was fine when I was flying like a fixed wing thing out in the middle of nowhere all by myself. But when I started trying to fly a quad in a field with a load of other quads, turned out it didn't really work very well.
No.
So yeah,
Well, that's a pretty good one. So Tyrannus, yeah, I agree. Frequency hopping, cheap radio.
yeah, that you could actually like change the channels and like do stuff with. Other early ones, like being able to just buy a flight controller and not like have to like make one or like with gyros or pulling out
Pulling out your screwdriver and
Oh my
stuff.
god! Yeah, having to buy separate. What was it like? Separate gyros or a Nintendo Wii nunchuck, and then having to individually put them on a DIY board.
Compact goggles that meant we could avoid glare on screens without massive box goggles. So
You
fat
flew-
sharks, basically.
You flew a screen for the longest time.
Oh yeah, I flew a screen until almost 2018. Must have been like 2017.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I still don't really get on with my fat sharks, to be honest, but they are more convenient. Like, they're not better than a screen, in my opinion, but they are more convenient.
Could you imagine people racing and having like screen and sitting in front of it? The distractions. Oh, I couldn't do it because like sometimes you get nervous before racing it, and as soon as you put them goggles in and then you're in that drone, sometimes I can't even hear what's going on next to me. So that, yeah, having the goggles and just being in your own little, definitely good. Better than the screen any day. For me, I think it was decent props because you remember the day we used to all go down Hidden Valley, and
that was the next one on the list.
Yeah,
it was
just
unbreakable and reasonably balanced props out of the packet.
Because you'd get them out and it would your quad flew great last time. You put all these props on and it was be wobbly all over the place, and then you'd look at it and it'd snap or hit a twig and it would just three props gone.
You'll be flying.
Awful.
And eventually, like, you'll be absolutely tearing it about because one summer, me, Tony, Dan Upton, and Oscar were all flying together, and we just flew this circle, and it was kind of just like Tony loved it. It was left turns all the way.
It was left all the way around. Brilliant.
And it is just, and we were just hauling arse. Like, I don't know whether. Hang on, I think I've got a video of it.
I've got pictures and probably video of it on my Google account somewhere.
Can we remember when it was? It was just like
I don't know.
We were just like absolutely just going for it around this like big oval. It was like, like Gran Turismo, where
it was
just
before
like,
2016, wasn't it?
Yeah, I've got it. Yes, I've got it. So this was. Does it say?
Am I going to look all slim and young?
This was 7 years ago. Hang on, let me.
Wow.
Let me just. Let me just share this. So the best thing is on my Insta, and I don't think it's buried. We've got, oh god, only
That's
allow
it.
essential.
Sheercoat Valley.
Yeah, Sheepcoat. Yeah,
Sheepcoat.
Sheepcoat.
Yeah. Who is the guy who organised that? Some was it Oscars? I just found something what I find quite funny. I'll see if I can share this with you. I'll take a photo and send it to you, Jack, and you can
I don't know.
put it up online or something. Would it be best emailing to you so you can put it?
Yeah, it's not, for some reason. It's not letting me log in, but I am just.
Well, I've sent you a photo of what we were just talking about, so you could display that. That is what I have done before. This was like the early days.
Present, share screen. So this little
There it is. That's the photo I was looking for.
photo there, and obviously I can't, for some reason.
It won't let you share that one picture.
Yeah,
Upton, Slim Jack.
yeah.
Jack looks like a child in that picture.
It's Jack's brother, Tom.
I know.
Jim, no, Slim Jim.
And there's Oscar.
Look at Oscar.
And we just, yeah, like so young. Hang on, let me just.
I've still got
For some reason,
t-shirt.
it won't let me.
You can't
log
play
in.
any of the
I
video.
can.
This is going to be just circles of crap. Oh yeah, but this back then it was absolutely
Dan
brilliant.
Upton, Oscar Lang.
Oh,
Oscars.
the Jello! Wow.
I know.
What would this would be a GoPro 2 one?
Mobius.
No.
Or Mobius. Oh, of course.
Probably a Mobius. Look at that, Tony. Like, this is Oscar trying to teach Tony how quads work. Or a battery strap, I don't know.
Put the battery in this end, stay away from that end.
Like, there's no crossfire.
I remember this tune as well. You put this together really well, I remember thinking this is all good.
I mean, the blue in the sky looks nice, but the ground looks very magenta.
Bit posh.
Yeah. It is Brighton. It's probably, Whitehall, where it's probably full of piss.
Is that a quad or a bumblebee?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like a real slow build-up.
Did we even have any?
Racing.
I don't even think we had any gates or anything, did we?
No.
We just went round a mode circle.
Time before gates.
Is this slow motion or is it just?
It gets
like
going
how
in a
fast
minute.
you fly.
Yeah, this is just like it's a round circle. How much build-up can you have?
Yeah, we tried to make it cool.
I know this is politically incorrect, but this is the retard track of Gran Turismo. And it was just like,
look at the speed, man.
Yeah, and they're like the size of buses. The noise.
Not too bad on the Jello, really. There. Oh yeah, there's the campers.
And there's some hobos.
Just fly by them and be alright. Stay in your tent.
Yeah.
Look at that track. Follow that.
That's a good track, actually, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just a circle, and we were just honing it around. We need to go back and do it. And the
what with our old quads
screaming, yeah, or just
is that where we're going to get Steven to bring out his retro quad as well?
Look at the size of Tony's quad. It's
massive. That was the
QAV
250. Yeah.
Yeah, it's bigger than your head, Tone. There's nothing mini about that quad.
I know.
It is big old most of the sheet of carbon, isn't it? It's like they haven't trimmed down very much.
No, they didn't trim anything.
Oh my
that
god!
that that
Are you
made
flying like Horizon mode
angle.
or something?
Yeah.
this is before I taught him.
Before Tony taught me.
Yeah, you can tell because you're dipping up and down
Fighting.
quite a
Yeah,
lot, aren't you?
yeah, he's fighting the thingy. I remember.
But you just
remember flying like that. It was horrible. And then once you got it together, and then you could just go and be whatever angle you want. It was great.
And how much of it as well do you think is just like his camera angle is so low that he's having to like look up to see
Yeah.
where he's going?
Well, that as well. Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
I don't even think we
come
had.
up for air.
Did we even have any tilt at all back then? I don't remember.
We always had. We always had a bit of tilt. We weren't animals.
My first one when I had that one at Sumner's Ponds with the DSM-1 radio. That
tilt.
had because that had
Negative tilt.
The board camera that was just so big, like the board that had the full board on it, that it only just fitted in the frame, and it was just like you could only have it at 0 tilt because that was the only way it fitted.
And this is all 3S as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's not actual too bad with the old Mobius. I think we used to put blocks of foam underneath them, didn't we? And
yeah, basically, that's exactly what we did.
Bits of rubber. Oh, I remember used to use that stuff that was moon gel. What they used in guitars or something.
Yeah, and then you would fall out the sky for no reason because you were on the throttle so much, the props would just explode randomly at random points.
Yeah,
you would just.
And then spend half hour trying to find it in the grass because we didn't have beepers or anything.
Yeah, well, no.
Turn it on, see if you can see it moving and see the grass going. Yeah.
We haven't actually got... Curry obviously hasn't joined this conversation because in the list we don't have lost model alarm at all. So
well, I don't think it's that big a deal, but I mean, it's not as big,
let Curry
not as big as props, so props. So that
Android. If you've still got moon gel, can you take a photo of it and post it on our Discord, please? Right.
After the props, we've got serial receiver flight controller connections.
My
S-bus
God.
receivers.
S-bus, yeah.
Avoiding all the rat's nest and the noise and the PWM and the PPM. And
one wire instead of 10.
Yeah, and you could have, the communication from your stick to the quad without it just picking up noise. Random voltages and things.
Right, so if any of you guessed August 9th, 2015...
Audio Gecko year was this?
That is your answer.
Wow.
Yep. That was it. Just speed laps. We should go back and do it again.
Recreate it.
Yeah, and have Tony cut props down.
With what?
Oh, Frank, you're glitching out, my friend. Now talk.
Yeah, it's because I'm still on my laptop. I haven't got a place. I haven't got a desk. This is currently my dining table and my workbench and everything else at the moment. So I'm still on my laptop, and my laptop struggles with anything. So yeah. Next on the list.
Feels like 1862.
You cheeky basket. It felt so brilliant back then, though. I mean, we were the only ones doing it. There weren't many of us in the UK.
We were on Clean Flight then.
Yeah, it would have been a Clean Flight, 100%.
Next on our list was ESC motor braking. That meant quads could yaw. We didn't have to have a tricopter to be able to yaw. And inverted tricks worked, and it generally flew less poo. And I think Dominic Clifton even stuck that in there as that was his first thing, ESC braking.
Active braking, yeah. Yeah, I could agree with that.
Look at this. Old versions of Clean Flight. Getting the drivers to work. This is what Clean Flight used to look like. No beta flight, no dark mode, no nothing. It was just Alien Will F1 CC3D 2015. Look, 2015 8th 19.3 stable. So it was Clean Flight then.
Yeah, 2015-14. Yeah.
The next sort of, I mean, there's a bundle on here that I guess will go together with that, which is programmable ESCs and pass through, so that you can reverse.
Pass through was very good.
That was my suggestion. I was like,
it was your suggestion.
Yeah,
God,
pass through.
being
Yeah,
able
definitely.
to reverse motors in software.
Yeah,
Holy
God, yeah. So you didn't have to unsolder them and all that.
Oh,
Yeah.
Brilliant.
fucking God, man.
God, we were Neanderthals with flying sticks.
There was also one of Stephen's suggestions was having USB VCP, so that you didn't have to use FTDI adapters and soft serial, because you weren't having to use an entire UART on the flight controller, of which there were very few, just to be able to connect to it to your configurator.
What is it? Virtual comport.
Yeah, that sounds good. I'll go with that.
Yeah, there you go. Tutorial. This was March 2018. Virtual comport. If you want to know, we're just talking about stuff and then typing it into Google's to Oscar's
Oscar
website.
Lang.
Yeah, Oscar Lang. Like, that's it. Look, man. Oh my God. Yeah, because back in the day, if you turned off MSP, you weren't talking to your board anymore. Oh my word! You used to have to stick it in bootloader mode and keep it shorted and reflash your recovery.
I'm just trying to think other things. Other ones.
Stephen also suggested OSD menus, so that you didn't have to mess around with configurators for every little thing. So like skip the configurator entirely and just do it from OSD. Does make things easier, especially. What about smart audio, remote control of VTX?
That's a naughty word. But there you go.
I would say before that VTX size, because you remember the only thing you could get was the big old red. What were they?
Oh God, what were they?
Yeah.
Immersion
RC, massive fucking things like that long. You used to put on your quad and try to stick somewhere. So I would say size of VTXs for me as a big one.
Why did they get smaller? Why were they so big and why are they now so small? What changed?
I don't know.
It was because
antenna
junctions. They were using. So as you can see, it's not a very good photo of this.
No, they were big.
Like,
there's one on a quad. Look, back up. There, look.
Yeah, look, it's massive.
That's how big we used to have to fucking put them on. Excuse me.
Is it as big as like a 450 milliamp hour like 2S battery, isn't it?
Yeah. You can't really see that well. Maybe this one might.
I mean, there's a big chunk of heatsink in there. So did they just get like?
That was shielding. So as you can see, look, this bit here, there's two boards, and this is just a default off-the-shelf module that then goes onto the board. So that's separate. So you've got the shielding that satisfy the FCC and Ofcom. And
they were good, though. They were good.
Then you've got a massive
switches.
Switch for dip switch. Switches to change channel. You got this
Oh,
massive
God,
connector
yeah.
that no one ever used, and then these are the
Except for
these are
Tony.
the pinholes that connect the little off the shelf module to this, and then this bit here. Well, this bit here is all filtering, I think.
Mm.
And that is a switching voltage regulator that sort of like brings the voltage down for the logic level. Dom, make sure I'm getting this right. And I think this bit here, where you've got this discrete chip and this capacitor bridging it to ground, this is the amplifier circuit, I think, that then takes the the signal, which is basically, I think these like little modules were Wi-Fi modules for boards or security cameras, and yeah, this amplification circuit is what amplified it to 600, which we now find out that is closer to more like 900 million.
Yeah.
million.
I used to have a pin that I'd keep specifically to change channel with.
Well, this is the point. I mean, I know Dominic Clifton, Mr. Clean Flight, praise be in the chat, is having like a whole little diatribe against smart audio because it's neither smart nor audio, and there weren't enough pins to do both on the. He's saying there weren't enough pins to do both on the MCU that TBS used for their VTX. Enough TLAs there, but. I mean, it got rid of dip switches.
It did.
It got rid of dip switches. It got rid of memorizing LED flashing patterns.
God, you remember that? Oh my God, that was so shit. 1, 2, 3, flash. 1, 2, 3, long flash. Oh, it's Fat Shark 12. Yay! 1, 2, 3, 4, slash. Oh God, that was the fucking worst. Dyslexic. 1, 2, 3. I think 4 times Jack it flash. Oh, I remember that. Was
what does the
shit.
blue light mean? What does the negative symbol mean?
Oh God. That's why VTX for me was when they changed. It got smaller. Oh yeah.
And to this day, Tony refuses to fly on anything other than R1.
That's it.
I know.
That's
it was
it.
just easier.
It's probably from back then. What's just mate? Yeah, that's it. Race 1, Tony. Everything's set to that. I can't change. That is a good point.
I used to
it probably
make
stems for that, Jack.
I used to make antennas that were tuned to R1 length, and he had brilliant signal. And everyone was just like, "How does he do it?" And I'm like, "Because I know he only flies on one channel. I haven't got to go for the middle of the band. I just go like, boom, full." I wish we still had some of my old antennas. It would have been awesome to like.
Do you remember that one you made once, and it was fantastic? And I lost it. Crashed and lost it in the grass somewhere.
On the list, we do have robust antennas, i.e. pagodas and triumphs and things, that meant that we didn't just have to eyeball the cloverleaf skew planar antennas afterwards, chuck them in a bag or crash them or whatever. And so, and not only did we have like a good connection to our VTX via some decent antennas, but also it meant we weren't broadcasting to every other channel other than the one we were actually meant to be on. You could actually have races, and you could, not be seeing everyone else's channel at the same time. So that
helped. That stopped some of the time trial stuff.
Oh, look at that! Look at that!
Zoom in on you there, Jack, because. Like, I don't know. Are we sure this is...
It just zooms. It just breaks Instagram. It just doesn't.
That doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
I'm not convinced that's you, Jack. I think you've been replaced. I think this is like.
Who's his brother?
Conspiracy.
It was him.
Yep. I think that's everything on our list so far. We've talked about everything on there. Has anyone in the chat got any other good suggestions for like
D-shot where you don't have to calibrate? That was Caroline.
Ooh.
Remember having to calibrate back down and then back up again? Why? You already know what the maximum already was. Just do it once. Oh my God, it was the worst.
Oh, that VTX flashing. I'm having nightmares now thinking about that.
I know.
Fucking horrible. Yeah.
Swearing, language.
All right.
It's like, oh no, I'm not on race band. I'm on band B. It's 800
Yeah.
milliwatts instead of band R on 25 milliwatts.
I think what else was a good.
I mean, I imagine that along the lines of D-Shot, having the bidirectional stuff so that you could do RPM filtering, I expect a lot of people would be up for saying that that was a big thing. Personally, I haven't flown / updated enough since that happened to actually notice. But I'm sure lots of people who actually can, fly more than like a few circuits a decade would probably say that's important.
Audio Gek, I've got one of them still.
Oh, the big blue cloverleaf from IB Crazy. You say indestructible. I believe I bought one and
I've still got mine.
destroyed it in the same day, so it wasn't indestructible enough for me.
Frank finds a way.
Yeah, the blue beam, is that the one?
I think it was blue beam, wasn't it? No, blue beam was the
Mad
little
mushroom.
Oh, I can't remember what it's called. It was blue and had a big bit on it, but I can't remember.
Flight One says whole gimbals, like, so you didn't have when you let go of the stick, it didn't just stay one side to the other, so that you had to set, what was it, dead zone or whatever to like 20 or whatever.
I've never noticed this to be a problem.
I used to open my trainer something. Well, I still do. Loosen everything because it was very springy, wasn't it? All of them. Mine are all floppy now. That's what Shay said. But yeah, no, I like the Hall gimbals. I don't think they were massive enough to put in a top 10 though.
Yeah. Again, I haven't flown enough to notice that that's a problem. That's like, for me, what's really important are the things that mean that you can actually have a good day's flying. Like the things that make that difference. And I agree. I don't think the Hall effect gimbals do that for me.
No.
I feel nice. So Tailspin
Duraspec,
says
that was it.
Fly Sky i6 for poor people. I used to flash this for people using like an FTDI adapter on the other end of it was an S-video cable, and you could flash it with something called Bojangles mod, which gave you like 10 channels. But it turned out later on that there was some sort of problem with it.
Was Bojangles a little mouse?
Yeah, in the longest mile.
That's it. Green Mile. Was it the Green Mile?
Yeah.
Green Mile, Bojangles, the little mouse. Yeah, Mr. Bojangles. We have got a friend who flies that. Still, I don't know if she still does, but Magdalena used to fly that. Whatever that was called. What was it called?
The Fly Sky i6.
Yeah. And I've seen her, she flew miles out to sea with that. And I was like, oh my God, she's not even on Crossfire or anything. And she just went, wee, loved it. So, yeah. I mean, I think it was pretty good for what it was, wasn't it? For its price and stuff.
You could get into the setting modes and go outside the 2.4 gigahertz.
Could you turn it up and things as well? Or maybe she does
get
that.
a longer thing, but you have to. I'd imagine you'd have to. It did have 2 antennas, but yeah, you could, trim your antennas and get better range.
Maybe someone done that for her.
Mr. Clean Flight again in the chat says dogs on leads does it for me. That does improve your day's flying, I guess.
It does.
A good coat that helps.
I tell you what was revolutionary.
Luminous coat.
right, was XT60 powered glue guns and wait for it, even more monumental was, wait for it. Can anyone guess what I'm thinking of?
Soldering
Wow.
irons.
Yes.
Oh yeah, soldering irons, yeah.
The
That's a good point, actually,
100.
Jack. That is a really good point.
Because I remember fixing
Mm.
someone's cut motor wire with a cigarette lighter and just some
Yeah.
solder.
Yeah, I don't know who you'd be
Remember
talking
that?
about.
I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
that's a good one. I think that could go in the top 10, to be fair.
That was that
Out in the
quarry.
field, yeah, not having to go home and all that lot. Yeah, glue gun and so yeah, I'll give you that.
The glue gun saved you, Tony. That's what brought us three all together. Was Frank had not only a glue gun, but he had heat shrink.
And I had a table.
Oh, table, yes.
Yeah, he come prepared.
Yeah, he was like the most popular guy. I was like, I love this guy, Frank Tone. I don't know whether that makes me gay for him or what, but he's brilliant.
I had a car full of equipment.
Yeah. Oh God, look at this. Is the old Micro Min OSD talking about? Look
I
at
tried one of them once.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Didn't like that. It didn't really work for me. I think they were very temperamental, these.
That's like the
Yeah.
size of like a modern VTX, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, not only does it have like a massive Arduino chip on it, but then it's got the long ass OSD chip on it. Look at it. And any guesses? So this is 20.96 millimeters by 43.38 millimeters. Anyone guess how much it weighed? 5.5 grams.
A lot.
With pins.
That's a lot. Someone in the chat, Flight 1, said 4-in-1 ESCs. Yeah, that did definitely.
It took a long time to adopt those because they used to just explode.
They did when they first come out. They weren't great because I remember thinking, God, if one goes, it's all gone, which was annoying. But
look, Frank, that's your board camera in a case.
Yeah, that is definitely my board camera before I decased it. Yeah. So that is a good point. Like, how come we can now have like 6S 40 amp ESCs that are tiny? Like, how has this happened? But like, what's changed? Like, materials wise, like, it's not like we've got better copper, is it? Like, what's going on?
That.
Do we know?
Oh,
I think Jack's still having an heart attack about that. I do remember that, Jack, and I remember you sitting in your room trying to do it on one of my quads, and it was awful. It worked a couple of times. I think even Dan Upton had a go, and
multi-wee OSD next generation GUI. It was shit. Dominic Lefton chimes in with FET technology.
I still want. I'm gonna have to like at some point do a little deep dive on like what has changed in that area.
FETs have got bigger, stronger. Also, FET SMD package improvements. They used to just blow up, man. Do you remember? At the race that you won, Tone, where Frank was like some sort of race director or something at that. Event. Do you remember I had
one?
The fire, my ESC blew.
That was
smoked it out. Yeah, it was Kiss.
It was Kiss
18 amp.
18 amp.
It's the one where it was a safety marshal who had not been briefed on where the fire extinguishers were.
It's on fire. You probably still got the footage of that, haven't you?
Yeah, I was pulling bits of that ESC out of my Tyrannus case.
You stunk that whole place up.
That's Digby Dan's first build, circa 20.
Nice.
Look at that! Look at that receiver. It's horrendous. transmitter.
ESCs used to go quite a lot. I mean, the 18 amp Kiss was, you probably just twanged something on the way around, and that was it. It was gone.
I didn't. I was flying in the middle of the hall. It just went.
Well, that was back in the day. That's what happened.
Someone looked at it funny. That was what happens.
That's it. Yeah, I'd go along with some ESE stuff. I think, ESEs and braking. We'll put that in one category then. ESEs and ESE braking at the same time. I think that sort of definitely did something to the hobby, made it better.
Dom, it's a bit late, but if you did want to educate us about ESCs, I've sent you a little link. You're safe. Stephen isn't here to argue with you about beta flight. I do apologise about that, and I do need to have talks about him. Like, try not to argue with the guests. It's not a good look. But I think I don't think I needed to say that. I think afterwards he was just like, "Yeah, I just wanted Dom to do something. I was trying to make it as easy as possible." I understand. It's for the greatest of the hobby. I'm coding whilst watching. Oh my god!
Fair enough. This is what people do when they listen to the show. They can. This is what I like. They get on with things and mooch around and
LDOs
shout stuff at the TV.
LDOs on. I'm gonna pair my socks. That's the only way I'll get through it.
It's why
we're just like keeping some of the slower brain cells busy. Getting them out of the way, letting the productive ones get on with things.
Yeah. Oh my god. What
Oscar Lang in the top 10 himself?
Yeah.
Throw that in.
I have to say, I do like a web page that is just written out with some pictures. It's very helpful. Much more helpful than lots and lots of videos. As much as, painless videos are very helpful, I would love to be able to just kind of reread a thing rather than go over the same 3 seconds of video multiple times until I understand.
Oh, look what I found. Look at that. How to fix a bricked flight controller.
That is not a problem I've had in quite a long while.
I
2017.
don't think that
Highlight
happens
the boot
anymore.
pad, flash on connect. You can. I often do it.
If you try hard enough, you can brick it.
Bricked flight, multi-shot, 2016 February. Well, it's not important anymore. And him and fucking what's his name? What was his name? The guy Preston being like, yeah, it's faster than D-Shot. Yeah, that's nice. PPM versus S-Bus. This is written 5th of October 2015. DDR2 versus X4RSB. And if
do you reckon Oscar's backed this up somewhere?
Oh, mate, Wikipedia has.
I hope someone has.
When we get nuked, we'll need this to rebuild.
Yeah, it needs to be written down on stone.
Yeah.
ZMR, PDB, that's
look at them.
Wow. So what we're looking at now is a picture of the bottom plate of a quads that is also the OSD and the PDB.
Look at that toroidal, fucking, oh my god. Look at that. Oh, Jesus. That inductor is massive. That is huge.
That's
god.
Said.
The editor's going to have a fucking field day.
There's a couple of innuendos in there tonight.
I know. Look at it. It's massive.
For when you want your quads to become a fireball in the midair.
Look, and there was this, what was it? Team something or other, team whatever. And they actually had cutouts to try and make it a little bit lighter.
Well, They were trying.
Overcraft. They had a name. They had like a little. I can't remember what they called. Nucleus. Look how many different PDBs are the same quad.
Bloody hell, look at all that lot.
LC. There's
LC
just
filter,
too much going on.
camera
Man.
pads for 5V.
Your
Oh my
RSSI
God.
pads to split it between your minim OSD and your
Zip
D4RT.
tie holes.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, the Xiaomi
Right.
camera. Do you remember those?
yeah.
Yeah, I
man?
do.
For
I do.
people
I remember
who,
wanting one.
They
oh
were
well,
alright, man. They were alright. I never owned one. Brad has always had one.
I had one. I lost it down the steep side of Devil's Dyke.
My webcam right now is a knockoff Xiaomi camera.
Is it?
Yeah, it's like XL van.
I do love Chinese products where they just make some shit up like that. So funny.
What is that? Oh,
Oh,
look!
yes! I've probably got one of them somewhere.
Oh,
These are like
abuse
yeah.
mark.
the Daisy PDBs, right? I think that's what they were
yeah.
called.
Yep, the
Brilliant.
how Jack can vaporize copper in
Yeah.
seconds.
Look at the old ESEs. I used to have them. I can't remember what they were.
Emax BR Heli 12 amps.
So let's explain the Daisy PDB for people that are listening and don't know.
Yes.
It's like a
Looks
30
like
by
looking into a flower.
It's like a 30 by 30 board
Mm.
that's got
It's
It's
shit. So that's what it is. It's fucking shit. It's a piece of shit. And I hate it.
it's got 8 kind of segments to it, and each segment has 3 holes in it, and it's like a through hole soldering point, so that
Yeah.
you could join a few things together. So you could have your positive and your negative. It's just a way of joining your individual ESCs back before the 4-1 ESCs.
Mm. Simon K firmware on there probably.
Yep. I mean, I've still got loads.
Look how
of these
thin that
ESCs,
carbon is as well. Look at it.
I
Like, look at
know.
it. I'm looking at it. Probably just snapping a minute.
Amazing.
This is funny. This
This
I
is like a
like-
trip down memory.
It
Look
is,
at
isn't
that.
it?
Look at the biplane.
Hey, look at a little bit of up tilt.
The ring camera. I mean, that is living
3S
dangerous. though.
1300.
And so said giant
Yeah, the massive.
VTX right
Yeah.
there.
Look
Why
how
wait?
small the
Massive.
battery is compared to everything
I know.
else.
I know.
Yeah, what?
Fucking hell. Look at it. It's got more LEDs.
Put a light on it and all.
Oh. Look at it. It looks like a flying double decker on fire, smeared
Look
in
at the
paint.
rubber grommet technology to keep the camera steady.
Yeah, I know.
I like the prop nuts.
And what, you put a screwdriver through to tighten
Okay,
them?
welcome to this video
Yeah.
about an LED strip I've added to my
Oh,
Emax
yeah.
250.
There you go. You got a tricopter. I don't know whether you want to go down that, but that's too new. That's got a Tyrannus. And look,
There
the
it is.
Duraspec antennas.
There it is.
Booyaka shot. What is that plastic thing there, though? That's what the question is.
Oh,
Any idea?
What? Let's zoom in a
Look,
bit.
it's like a massive blue bit of plastic.
Oh, it's like a laser cut top plate for it or something.
Yeah, and look, they've used aquarium tubing as a standoff
no, it
so that
can't
the
be.
battery can swing back and forth.
Oh,
Go
this-
for it.
That was like the anti-vibration mount.
Yeah,
Yeah, nice.
yeah, that's right.
Back
Loosely,
when like the propellers were so unbalanced that the vibration from them was that bad.
Especially on
T-
something that big.
T-motor, though, fair play.
Yeah, nice motors. Small.
And again, why did we have tricopters? It was because the only way to get something to yaw nicely was
Yeah.
to tilt the whole motor, because the ESCs didn't do the motor braking.
No, that's it. This is good.
I
Look
feel
back.
so old. I mean,
Carl
just
C is asking, what's with the landing legs? Well, you see, back when you had propellers made of cheese, if you went too close to a blade of grass, they would explode.
They would die and cut your face off.
So you
Yeah.
needed long landing legs to keep your propellers away from a blade
From the
of grass.
yeah.
Back when, like, we weren't seeing blades of grass. We were lucky if we saw the horizon. Just like sky is higher up than the ground. That's good. It's
That
going
is good.
well.
I'm still flying.
hang on, we've got oh, what is it?
Hello, props off.
There you go. There is the fabled
That's it.
Mobius.
That's what we fly.
The
Exactly
taped
like that.
together top of the
Broken.
of the what are they
Immersion
called?
RC
Antennas.
antenna.
And to get tilt for the camera, they've just used strips of Velcro.
Simpler times.
They
Simpler
were the
times.
days. They were the day. Look at that lot.
Oh, look, it's got an
There
abuse
it
mark
is.
in it as well, with a gas butane, and the solder is used for pipe work.
The solder's so thick.
The solder, that solder for copper pipe for the
you
water
could use that
in
for
your house.
plumbing. Yeah.
God, how we achieved anything
I don't
is
know how
beyond
anything
me.
flew and we carried on.
Well, but that was
I
the thing
know.
as well, right? It meant that if you flew and you landed and you flew another pack, you were having a good day, and it meant that, like, you know, everyone who got together and had these kinds of experiences of flying a pack, like, that was an achievement, and you all celebrated when anyone managed to achieve it.
Yeah.
I remember my first completed battery. Like, I don't know whether anyone does. Like, that was an achievement to land with an empty battery without anything exploding, without me crashing. Like, it took me years. It probably took me 2 years before I was like, oh my God, I finally finished a battery.
I mean, I'm still looking forward to the day where I finish the day because I've run out of batteries and not run out of quads or talent.
Yeah.
Look at that. A real insight. That's a PS3 for any of you who...
It is with the sliding top one, isn't it?
Yeah. Look at that. This is where you needed 2 computer screens to be able to get
play
through
your
it.
tunes and one to
one to like
one to
open
work
700 tabs. And
oh, it was brilliant though. It brought us all together, Jack.
Yeah,
and we're still here.
Know. Look at those! Oh, those Turnigy battery straps. I hate them. If anyone's got any of them, if they can send
Set
me
it on
one
fire.
so I can burn it. God damn!
They never
They're
stuck, did they?
They were basically cable tidies. They weren't battery straps.
Yeah.
They're for what you use to like tidy up your cable management, to tie your cables to your desk.
Them props are going to break in a minute.
I know. They just used to explode.
They just used a flash on there and they broke.
Look at the cable top. That's the answer to everything. Yeah.
There's plenty of room for more cable in there. Keep the spare in there. That's what I say.
2015.
Arthur. I remember this guy. I used to sub to this guy.
Anyway, Jack, we should start
Call it
time
there.
ones.
Oh yeah, it's gone over. I was enjoying myself so much.
Thank you.
Power of nostalgia.
Yes.
Yeah. Remember why we used to do this? I don't. Thank you. You have been listening to the Let's Drone Out podcast. As you can see, this show is supported and sponsored by our lovely Patreons. Next week, we will be having a bonus podcast. Curry, make sure you can stay for that. And hopefully that's enough heads up for Stephen. Our
Good. Just now
Patreons,
learning about it.
yeah, but our Patreons are the best. We love you guys. Thank you so much. We're live every Thursday at 8 p.m. till 9 p.m. on YouTube. If you want to tune in, say hello, come join in the chat. And we have been joined by our Lord and Master, Andrew/Frank.
Bye.
My darling wife, Tony.
Bonjour.
Tony, did I tell you that I phoned Fossil Stuff's work? Frank, I don't know whether you know this because you saw Fossil the other day.
I
But
did indeed.
the receptionist, I was like, "Hi, is Martin there?" And she's like, "Who's calling?" I'm like, "How dare you ask who am I?" So,
Well, that went down well.
hang on. No. I thought that. So, wait for it. I've got to be careful because, like, you know.
Thanks everyone in the chat. Lurgy, Tailspin, Drone, Droid, EBR, FPV, Sonic, Tonic, Numbskull, Richard Warwick, Dominic Clifton, as always, Flight 1. Who else is in there? Carl C. Shazza FPV. Oh, Paul Git.
Don't call me.
Yes, thumb up the
Thank you.
stream. Yeah, thanks, Dom. Thumb up the thumb up, please. Let's see if we can get. Let's see if we can get. How many people were actually watching? 23. Let's see if we can get 23 thumb ups.
Yeah. So yeah. I was like, oh, can you phone Tony's husband? But it did spell it the boy way. So.
Oh, poor mine.
Thank you guys, and good night.